Hey guys, it's Matt here from Henry Schein. Just doing a workflow on a VHF E4 to show you guys the process behind doing an all-on-4 implant case and the workflow to take advantage of the 90-degree milling. So first off, we're going to choose a zirconia. So whatever one you wanted to, you can choose whatever material that you're currently using. Obviously, usually the larger disc is going to be more beneficial, and adjust whatever the scaling factor is for your zirconia. Make sure that you put in whatever shade it is so you can bring it back and search for that particular shade disc later on if you wanted to, and you can search through down here. All right, so now that I've created that, I'm going to move it in, confirm my scaling factor, and then I'm going to move this disc in. So after I move this disc in, I want to make sure that I'm calling my all-on-4 case screw retain bridge. Yep. And I want to, choose it from my list. Obviously, this is a case here that's been designed. So if you wanted to use whatever case, wherever it is for you, you choose it and then move it in. I'd usually do this on 3-star and I'd leave it, have these settings like this. So there we go. Oh, it's too high for this particular disc. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, all right, I'll use this one. All right, so I'll bring this one in. And then obviously, once you bring it in, you can see that we've chosen screw retain bridge, and then we're going to move it down into the disc. So you can see down the bottom left-hand side, it's going to search for the drill holes. So you can see there's, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drill holes in this one. It's going to try and determine all those screw holes itself without you doing anything. If it does all 6 perfectly, then, that's a win. You don't have to adjust it. But remember that it is searched out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screw holes in this orientation. So every single time you want it to change your orientation, it's going to have to research for those drill holes again. So you can see that it's picked up 6 drill holes, right? And then pretty much once it's done all that, then it's going to skip us into the next step. And so it's picked up all those drill holes for us. So if there's a drill hole, let's have a look on the underside by clicking up here. There's a drill hole that I'm not happy with. So let's say this one and this one. I can come in, I can click on this icon just there. I can look on the underside, and then what I want to do is I want to click on this one here. And what this does is takes you through all the holes that are selected. So you can see it's picked up all, 12 in total, 6 on each side, 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom. And if I click on that, if I click on the arrow, it'll highlight the screw channel that I'm not happy with. Yep. So if I then delete that, what I can do is I can then come in using this area just in here, that area, and I click 1, I click 2, and I'm going to 1, 2, 3, choose 3 points, and then I'm going to bring that out to the size essentially of that screw channel. There we go. Cool. That's all good. And then I'm going to come over here, click on it. You can see that's number 6. I'm going to click 1, 2, highlight my 3 points. And you know what, maybe I'll just bring that a little smaller. I might have over accentuated on the other one. Cool. If there are any that I'm not happy with, this is a particularly bad case, you'd go and you'd choose 3 points, and then essentially you do your screw channel for each one. Yep, so once that's all done, here's one more here. So now, as I was mentioning before, every single time that you, let's say, I'll just leave it there. If you change the orientation using this icon, I'll hit save to move that back. So, and then if you do change the orientation, so right now, if I looked at this from the side view, if I wasn't happy with the angle of this, let's say, and I felt like there was going to be too much translucency on one side or the other, and I did come in here and I turned off essentially the Z-axis orientation, and I start moving this around in whatever direction that I wanted to, right? And then you can see, you know, let's say we wanted to try and make sure everything's all even. So if you were to do that, and I won't save this, but if I were to do that, I can kind of get it close. I can also, by clicking this icon, it will allow me to do smaller incremental movements rather than larger movements. Yeah. Now, if I have that ticked, it'll only allow me to rotate so far. Yeah. If I untick this little spindle icon, which is the Z-axis, allows me to rotate it the whole way that I wanted. And if I click on this one, it allows me to rotate in smaller increments to whatever position. But if I save this right now and clicked up and up, it would search for all 6 screw channels again, and I'd have to do it one more time and make sure they're all orientated correctly. I'm not going to bother doing that. Now, first things first, if you wanted to add your centrally your centering bar, so I'd bring it around something like that. I usually like to do mine hollow, and what I usually do when you're looking at it from the side, depending on if you wanted to do it flat or pointing up, I generally like to make sure that I've got it, you know, reasonably thick to support everything, hollow in the middle, but you can see each one of these I'm adjusting. So if I just pull that up 25, 25 and I make that reasonably thick, you know, then essentially we're going to have good support across the whole thing, and it's going to expand at a pretty similar rate as the all-on-4 arch. Right, you can bring in the disc so you can kind of see how far out you can kind of go if you wanted to. Cool. So, and one thing that I'm also going to do is I'm going to move this particular job. Okay, I should have. Okay, I'm going to delete that centering bar by hitting cross, and then I'm just going to move this actually closer. Where are we? The green one. Move this closer to the anterior section, and then I might maybe rotate this on the blue axis and bring it a little bit more to the middle. Cool. All right, so that's now that. So I'm going to save it. I'm now going to put on my centering bar. Once I put my centering bar on, that's pretty good. I want to make sure that my centering bar essentially is higher than the height of the all-on-4 case. And then it means that it doesn't have to mill it in, you know, it's the height of the disc, 25 mil. So I'm going to click on that, save it. And then once I've done that, then I'm going to do my 90-degree milling, which is this one. So, so once I've done there, I click on the little eyeball. Cool. And then you can see if I wanted to do, you know, the full 90-degree, or if I just wanted to do one side or the other, I can pick and choose those. I'm going to click there to hit back, and I'm going to come back in here. Cool. Now I'm just going to do my sprues. So I'm going to choose, oh, there's a cutaway sprue. I don't want that one. I want a full sprue. So one, adjust it. You want to try and have it somewhere on, you know, that apex line. There we go. And let's go to down around here. Now, I would want to try and make sure that we've got a handful here to make sure that, you know, we've got enough support in here so that it doesn't give us any issues during the centering process. Cool. And then we can place a whole heap down along the back if you wanted to. And what I like to do as well, just to support this internal area, I like to support this so this part in the middle doesn't drop out during a mill. So essentially that's what you do. Put all your sprues on, yada, yada, yada. And then from here, then you can send it to the mill. and then that will show up in CNC. So, cool. All right, so now that that's sent off to CNC, you can see the cam is going to calculate just like so. And then once the cam is finished calculating, this blue circle will be highlighted blue the whole way, and the word cam will then disappear. And after it's calculated, you'll be able to click up here, and then you'll be able to look at existing jobs that have been calculated for a certain time period. Because I haven't calculated anything in a little bit, obviously I don't have a history, but you can quickly view the cam after it's calculated to see any areas that the mill software couldn't get to be able to mill. So cool, that's it guys. Hopefully that helps you, and I'll post this to YouTube to give you some assistance. Cool, catch ya, bye.